Okay, so next we're going to move into our writing exercise. And this is basically, I'm calling it a messaging sprint. So it's sort of like your social media brand messaging distilled down to a 20-minute workshop. So there's three components to this exercise. The first is topics. So presumably we all have things that we're interested in, that we specialize in. What are yours? For me, like my primary topics are going to be things like creativity, mindfulness, spirituality to a degree, current events to a degree, and then also just jokes or abstract humor. So, what are your topics? For some of you, this is going to be very easy because you've got a very clear niche already. Like you help women grow a business, or you help people heal from trauma. What are your topics? What are the areas that you want to talk about? Even if you're more of a poet, are your topics, is it nature? Is it emotions? Is it romance? So think about the topics that you specialize in. And the second point of this intro is your voice. So, what is your tone of voice? Is it sarcastic? Is it intimate? Is it educational? Maybe it's more mystic. Is it sexy? Is it goofy? Is it poetic? Is it motivational? So, you might have more than one because sometimes I can be educational and sometimes I can be sarcastic. This isn't meant to limit you, it's to identify what comes naturally to you and how you want to come across. So, just take a couple minutes to think about your topics and your voice and just write down in your notebook whatever comes through. All right, we're going to move on and you'll have a chance to think about this more if you still need some more time. But the phase three of this exercise is to think about writing a newspaper headline. So I sometimes compare writing for social media to writing for a billboard. In this case, we're going to go with a newspaper headline. And I think this is a really good comparison because when you look at a newspaper, there's text everywhere. Every inch of this newspaper is filled with words. So where do you look? And how are you going to decide what article to read? This is very similar to scrolling social media. It's like you're not going to read every article, you're not going to invest in every post. But certain headlines in a newspaper are going to draw you in. So I often think about writing for social media like writing a newspaper headline. And this headline might be the full post, right? It just might be a short, quotable thing that you're sharing, or it might be the title that draws people into a longer idea that you unpack in the subsequent slides. Or it might even be the first thing you say in a reel to get someone's attention. So let's pretend that we're writing newspaper headlines in the form of our social media content. So, however many topics that you have. Write at least one headline for each. And if you only have one topic that you specialize in, one or two, then you can write a couple different headlines for each topic. And remember to be intentional with your voice. Like sometimes a newspaper is the New York Times and it's serious and highbrow. Then you've got the New York Post, which specializes in more sensational headlines. So the newspaper style is going to change based on your voice. Are you writing or is it the Onion? Is it a comedic paper, right? You decide. So be intentional with your voice and write one headline for each topic, or depending on how many topics you have, you can write multiple headlines. So I'm going to play some music and we're going to spend 5 minutes. And I like to say first thought, best thought. This can be more of a stream of consciousness. This isn't like a final polished piece. As we discussed already, it's so important to be human. So it's okay to be messy and just trust your first drafts rather than, waiting for the perfect idea. And we'll circle back in 5 minutes. Final minute to finish up whatever you're writing. All right, finish up your final thought. Okay, welcome back. And this is often my process for writing. I don't specifically think in terms of newspaper headlines. I think it's a good metaphor, but I'm like, what do I want to share? And what is a catchy way of saying it? And sometimes it takes a while to distill the idea down to its essence, right? So I just sort of sit with it and wait for the thought to become more clear and then just jot down what comes through. And don't put pressure on your first drafts. There's a great saying, it's easier to fix bad pages than no pages. So I like to just treat my notebook like a whiteboard, like a sandbox, and just jot down different ideas and then look back and see what works.